Andy, if you were to cut him, he bleeds his firm. There's many other people I'd say the same thing about in this room. That started with Tom and my dad. This place was everything to them. They started it. Anyway, here's my dad.
Well, I'm just happy to be here. Following Denise, who could do it any better than me? I mean, Andy, one of your best accomplishments in life is sitting right next to you. This guy, my oldest grandchild, I was there in the hospital, in the room, when Drew was born. And Denise's labor went on for quite a long time. A long time. We brought in sandwiches, we played cards, and Denise said, "I'm sorry it's taking so long." And there was Drew, Mom and Dad being as happy as anyone could be. And I got to go over and hold Drew, and I might be fantasizing, but he smiled at me. I know he did.
We have a picture of it.
Thank you, love. My best asset, Tracy, my wife. God bless her. So I'd like to talk a little bit about, first the start of our firm. In 1964, I went to work for a national accounting firm and started within a month of a fellow by the name of Tom Jones. And Tom and I got to know each other well because after being at the firm for a month, we were sent back to New Jersey to spend a month in training. Well, Monica, Andy's mom, was pregnant with Andy. Dan's Kath was pregnant with Dan. And we were back there for a month saying, "What are we doing here? We should be home." We started these jobs with, back in those days when accountants started working, I don't know about Tom, I think he might have gotten paid a little more than me. I've always been angry about it. But our first salaries were $525 a month. And you know what? We did great with that. We really did. We had no problems. So after working with Tom for 4 years, we said, we think we know everything there is to know about the accounting business. So we said, let's start our own firm. So we did. We had no clients. We had a promise that we were going to get all of the hours that we could possibly charge to Blue Cross, who were doing Medicare audits. Great, no problem. Well, we opened our doors and Blue Cross said, "You're too small." No, you can't do that. So Tom stayed in the office and started going around the neighborhood trying to drum up some business. And I started doing some work for the firm that we were with, Coopers and Lybrand's. And so we said, well, I'll bring in my check and put it in here, and Tom, you put it in the practice, and we'll survive. I had 3 kids, Tom had 2, and you know what? It worked. It was pretty amazing. It really was. I look back at those times, and I think when we first started, it was just Tom and I. If we had any financial statements to prepare, there weren't many. Kathy Jones typed them for us. My first personal client was my grandfather, and I'm going to tell you about him in a moment. I'm sitting here holding the tax return that I prepared for him. This is his federal and state tax return. Hand prepared by myself. And I thought, oh, we have a client. Well, unfortunately, my grandfather was gratis. So that was okay. The next year, I prepared his return, and Armanino and Jones had a folder. These are the actual folders that we prepared for his 1970 tax return. So let me tell you a little bit about the Armanino family. My great-grandfather was born in Italy, came to the United States, had two sons, William and Louis. He was, my grandfather, William, was quite a character. I don't think he ever finished high school. He went to work in San Francisco delivering ice on an ice wagon to residents in San Francisco. And I think he got himself into a little trouble, so he decided he would move to Stockton. And he did, and he married my grandmother, and he had two sons, Andrew, my dad, and Clarence, his brother. Clarence had three girls. My dad had my older sister Hannah, and my grandfather was looking a little chagrined. He said, is there going to be any Armanino to carry on the name? And I came along, and as I told later, my grandfather was very pleased with that. Well, I wouldn't have known that, but I saw it later in life because years later, when Andy was born, his first great-grandchild, he said, our family name is going to continue. Andy was that boy. We then had Judy and Christy, who were still, my grandfather was still alive. He died 2 months before Matthew was born, so he didn't know that. But that was important to me because my grandfather was bigger than life. He was a great guy. He was energetic, positive, and he taught me that, you know, if you think you can do something, go out and do it. So Tom and I, like I said, we started this practice. We grew it slowly, but when Tom retired in 1994, and I followed 2 years later, we thought we had a big accounting practice. We were probably 40 or 50 people. Well, look what happened. Joe came along. Joe Moore was our managing partner for 8 years. Did a great job managing the firm. And then Andy came along. And for 14 years, he's managed this firm. You've heard everything that I was going to say earlier because I'm the 8th speaker. You don't need to hear it again. So we all know the results of what's happened during those years. I was given 10 minutes to talk, and everybody said everything that I was going to say. So I'll make it easy. Let me just say that, you know, Paul, I think you said it, and it's so great that, you know, Andy's probably greatest accomplishment. Having a wife and a partner like Tracy who's made my life so special, and seeing Andy and Denise and the relationship that they have that is so special. Looking at their children, you know, what could be better than that? So my hope is that I can tell you just a few things about Andy that you all probably already know. He loves the firm. He loves the people that he works with. He loves his partners. He's terribly committed to all of the employees of the firm. And I think that looking forward to his retirement, I just want him to know how extremely proud I am of my son Andy. I have been truly blessed with 4 children and 2 stepchildren. And to sit here and look at Andy at age 54. He had to fit.
33.
I know, because I was 54 when I retired, and I thought I could sneak that by. But the reality is that, Andy, you have a lot of people here and lots of places that love you very much. I don't think any of them love you more than I do. God bless you.